All right, welcome back to Beagle Eye Visions. We're going to wrap up this episode number 43 of the CubbyWhole podcast featuring Mark Passio, the one and only, the legend, the great. I guess I should say those things before I say his name. Anyways, and we're also, Beagle Eye Visions got an upgrade on the console. I'm rocking the PS5, so I got better graphics, better load screens. I am not using the disc, so the load times still will be affected. I'm sure if I use the PS5 Fallout disc, it would be a lot faster. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go do some grinding, wrap this episode up, go to Nuka World, empty out my Nuka Colas and mix them all together, make some more drinks. Hopefully that'll empty out my inventory so I can get some more materials to work on my settlements and hopefully make one of the settlements 100%. Even though I'm on a different console now, so the trophies are all totally different. I have to start all over with the trophies, which is kind of frustrating, but I am grateful that I have my old save back. So I'm almost level 111. I'm going to keep grinding, roaming around. This is why I love Fallout 4, is because you beat the game and you can still keep grinding. It's amazing. And then look at this, a beautiful view. I love Boston, man. I love Boston. Even though I'm going to Nuke World, Boston, I will be back. Alright, so we're going to keep getting some knowledge from the very legendary, very great Mark Passio. I'm very excited. Hope you guys are excited. I hope this will be HD, true HD, unlike what the PS4 was pumping out. But if not, I hope it looks good. Hope it sounds good. And, yeah, we're going to keep rocking. Keep grinding. Alright, here we go. Thank you for choosing Beagle Eye Visions.
The way many people think. Absolutely still contributing to it. So you need to start doing this. And other people, when they are no longer, see the idea in, again, biblical allegory, those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Well, I no longer live in the glass house, okay? I moved on and built a solid foundation somewhere else and built a solid home elsewhere. So that's not my condition anymore. Once that's truly not your condition, then this is okay to do. And say, you need to do this. It's true that you need to do this. You haven't worked on yourself. You haven't done that. You still live in the glass house. And it is true, some people shouldn't be doing this, but some should. As long as they have confirmed they're not part of the problem anymore. And the part of the problem means you're not actively doing harm to other people, you're not condoning it, and you understand that government is a big part of that. Meaning, are you an anarchist? Do you truly believe that people should be free with no masters? Government is a master. Authority is a master. Do you believe that authority is an illusion? That authority is not vested in human beings? If you do believe that authority is real and is vested in human beings, you're a condoner of violence, because that's what authority is. Authority is somebody saying, I'm better than you, I get the right to command you, and if you don't comply, I can send people, I could do harm to you, or I could send people to do harm to you. That's what authority is, if you're being honest with yourself. Period. That's what it is. It's not what I think it is, it's what it really is. So the people who are doing that they are the problem. You need to point the finger at yourself and ask yourself, how am I still contributing to the harm that's going on in the world? How am I contributing to the problem? You know? So once you have stopped doing that truly and you're not really contributing to the harm in the world, then start pointing the finger at other people and saying, well, you're still doing what I stopped a long time ago. I stopped all that nonsense a long time ago. I stopped being a person who is a naive child believing that I have the right to do those things a long, long time ago, years and years and years, and you're still doing them. So I have the right to say, you shouldn't be doing those things. Don't tell me I don't have the right to raise my voice when I'm seeing the total murder and injustice all around me. Of course I do. As a matter of fact, the problem is most people haven't raised their voice. Most people haven't gotten in other people's face. We've been too nice. We have tolerated evil for too long just because we don't want to rock the boat and don't want a lot of tension and confrontation amongst ourselves around other people in society. That's not going to help or solve anything, ever. That will but not rocking the boat, not wanting to be noticed, not wanting people not to like us, wanting people to like us is not going to solve this. Speaking the truth unapologetically to other people about what's really going on is what's going to solve the problem. And that really goes for the dominators, and the people who should know better and are silent. The people I want to really get on more than anybody else are the people who say that they know this stuff and aren't teaching it. That the responsibility for keeping the world the way that it is yours more than anybody else's. That's the worst karmic position to be in. The worst karmic position you could possibly be in is saying, I know the truth about what's going on in the world, but I don't give a damn about people enough to come out and say it out in the open in public, in a wide scale way on the internet. Because you're basically saying, I'm a coward. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want people not to like me. I want to put on this facade, this mask, and just be nice so that I don't encounter any confrontation. I'm not interested in being non-confrontational. The truth is confrontational. The truth is confrontational because more people would rather do what is wrong than listen to the truth and align their behavior with what is right. So, of course, speaking the truth to somebody is going to be a confrontational thing. You shouldn't expect it not to be. Why would anybody expect speaking the truth to be pleasant? Nobody wants to really hear what the truth is. They want escapism and pleasantry and niceness. Well, that's not what the truth is. The truth isn't escapism, pleasantry, and nicety. The truth is hard to hear. The truth is brutal. The truth is ugly. The truth is what you don't want to hear. Why did anybody, where do we even get that idea from? Where did that idea come from? The sweet and pleasant tones of the mainstream media. And you believing that that's what's telling us the truth and that's how it's done. That's mind control. That's what the mainstream media is there to do, to mind control you into a state of abject ignorance when it comes to matters of truth. The CIA sorcerers of the dark occult saw to that by taking over the media a long, long, long time ago. So, that's the kind of mind control we need to get out of. Stop thinking that the truth is anything other than a battle. It's a battle. When you realize how bad the battle is going, it gets even worse because you realize how poor of a job people are doing presenting the truth to people. How few of them it is. Some of the people presenting it do a great job. Like you guys have been doing this and doing an awesome job at it, with this podcast. The point is how few people worldwide are doing something like this, anything like this. That's the problem. And that's the problem that needs to continuously be addressed. All the people out there within the sound of our voice, if you're listening and agreeing in any capacity, and then you're not putting it back out there for other people because you're so afraid to speak, you're part of the problem. You yourself are part of the problem if you are not speaking out. The truth has to be learned and then spoken. The universe is spoken into existence. We are going to get the result that we speak. What's stronger in its expression? The voice of truth being expressed through human beings or the voice of the lie being expressed through human beings? I think, once again, a 5-year-old can answer the question correctly.
And on behalf of the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Yeah, I can't stand it when people are like, oh, you just want this situation to be true, and that's why you talk about it this way. And it's just like, you really think that I want human slavery to be running amok through the whole world? Are you absolutely insane?
That's like a person who's just taking really bad drugs. I don't know, right? But stay away from that. Anybody that thinks this is what we want to do, you guys are out of your goddamn minds. You're purely out of your goddamn minds. I just cannot believe that anybody would speak that to someone like us. That shows you how brainwashed and crazy they must be. That person is not mentally well. Because for anybody to believe that this is what we prefer to do on a daily basis, can I tell you how mundane I really am? Can I tell honestly how mundane of a person deep down inside? Do you know what I really want to be doing right now instead of this? I want to go to the bowling alley, grab a beer, and bowl a few frames. That's what I want to do. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy. Okay? I don't care how mundane it sounds. That's what gives me earthly pleasure. I like to bowl. I could have been a professional champion bowler. I like sitting at a bowling alley drinking a beer and bowling. That's what I like. If I really were doing what I want to be doing, that's what I'd be doing. You know what? I like art. I always liked art. I want to learn how to paint. I suck at painting. I think I could be a good painter, maybe. right? There might be a painter deep down inside Mark Passio. I don't know. I've never really taken the time to really try to express that. But guess what? I might, if I really took the time to do it, I might be able to express something like that and enjoy doing it. And I'm not doing that because I'm doing this crap, right? This is what I sacrificed in my life. See, being someone who lives the truth and tries to teach it to others means you sacrifice the time of your life to do that instead of doing other things that would bring you personal pleasure. This doesn't bring me any personal pleasure. This is a moral obligation, right? A moral obligation, you do it whether it brings you any personal pleasure or not. Especially if it doesn't bring you pleasure, you do it anyway because it's a moral obligation, right? Honestly, this doesn't bring me any pleasure. I've said it before. I've been very vocal and open about it. I'm kind of bitter about having to do it because there are so few people doing this work. And once again, some people will say, oh, well, that shouldn't be your attitude, Mark. You don't know what I feel. You don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've experienced in life. This is a hardship upon me. This is something that I would rather not do. It's a hardship. It's something that is brutal and torturous to me to wake up every day to do. And yet I still continue to do it anyway. Because I know it to be the right thing, and maybe I could tag out for a few years if there were millions of people doing what I do, but there's not. And in many cases, I'm the only person saying the things that I say the way that I say it. I've never heard anybody rail on the firefighters in New York City, the way I just did. In any podcast or in any documentary, because nobody's thinking of it from that perspective. I'm going to make a presentation railing on software developers. I think the state of software is in such a deplorable state in the year 2021 that if better software were developed that was freedom-minded and freedom-oriented, there might be more people influenced and inspired to do this type of work. But I think the software is so bad, and software developers are in such a low vibratory state of consciousness that they're not even making tools that will help make it easier for people to speak the truth, because they don't care, because all they care about is a paycheck. I'm going to make a presentation called The Satanic Mindset of Software Developers, because I think this is something that I feel is so important to the freedom movement, and hardly anybody even thinks about it. They never even express it or think about it because they don't understand how integral working with software on a daily basis is to doing this type of work. And if easier tools were presented and given to the public, this might be a little less of a annoying, brutal job to do. I look at people even on the One Great Work Network, which I started last month, and I thought some of them were more technically inclined people, and some of them are, but guess what? It's not as many as I thought. A lot of people are just, YouTube guys, make a video, throw it on YouTube, I'm done. I thought people were more interested in building their own platforms and, knew how to embed media and make documents and make, do video editing and work with websites, etc. And it's hardly anybody. I'm going to highly recommend in the next content creator meeting for the One Great Work Network to the content creators to take my How to Become the True Media seminar, which I gave to members of the public and some other people who I gave scholarships to last year. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it free for all for all One Great Work Network content creators. I'm going to offer free scholarships to all the content creators, and they can attend and learn what's in the How to Become the True Media course if they want. To the regular, to the other public, I will obviously, it will be a paid course, but I think for the purposes of the people who are already doing this work, I'm going to offer scholarships for all content creators for that course. So, that's another, I think, needs to be done to mitigate things. We have to learn publishing technology. A lot of the things people don't even consider is, how is this information put out to the public? Well, if you don't know some form of publishing, sorry to break the news to everybody, but chatting with your next door neighbor ain't going to get it done. your words leave your mouth, and that's ephemeral, right? It leaves your mouth, it goes to their ear. They might or might not understand what you said, and that's it. That's the end of it. Where is it preserved? Where is it archived? Where is what you said preserved and archived for posterity? It's not. Almost every single word that I have ever said regarding everything that's taking place in the world, it has been digitally recorded, and it's archived on one site that you have to go to, or one library page, LBRY, not meaning a physical library, the website, where you could upload media, library that's based on blockchain. This is my point. Where are people archiving the wisdom that comes out of their mouth? You could speak wisdom and it could be gone in a puff of smoke. You know what I mean? The whole point is to really get the word out there to other people constantly on a continual basis. You have to archive it online. Otherwise, it's like, it's the old adage, like, pick or it didn't happen, right? Show me a photo or it didn't happen. Well, people saying, well, I talked to this person and that person. Point me to the URL where I could download it or it didn't happen, right? That's it. And for more people to be able to archive their, perception of what is going on online, speak their version of the truth. There's only one truth, but everybody has a different perspective on it. To speak your perspective of the truth and put it online. Most people don't know how to do that. They do not know how to use modern publishing technology to put what they say on the internet. And a lot of people don't want to because they're cowards, because they look at it like, oh, that makes me a target. That paints a target on my back. Well, so what? I cast the die a long time ago when it comes to, I'm up against some of the biggest psychopathic murderers in the world. And I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do to me. I don't care what they do to anybody I know, quite frankly. I mean, yeah, I would care. It would be not pleasant and not good if they harmed someone who was dear to me. But the whole point is that doesn't mean I'm going to stop speaking the truth. That's a real eventuality that could take place. But then guess what? Do your worst. Do your worst. It doesn't matter. You're not going to stop me till the day I die. I'm going to continue to speak the truth. That's what real courage is. And more people have to develop it. You got to speak it. You got to put it online. It's not good enough that you know it. It's not good enough you have an inkling. It's not good enough that you say it to your family members. It's not good enough you say it to your friends. It's not good enough you say it to your neighbors. That's in one ear, out the other in many cases, because most of those people aren't awake. That's here today, gone tomorrow, right? Where can we hear what you said? Right? If I want to hear it, I don't know you. I'm a stranger. You never talked to me, and I want to hear your wisdom. I want to hear what you said. Where can I go and hear it? If you just say it to some person and it's gone, it's like you didn't say it, right? So download link or it didn't happen, right? URL or it didn't happen. Like it didn't happen on social media. URL or it didn't happen, okay? When it comes to all the people who say they're saying the truth out there to other people and trying to help. URL or it didn't happen. Web link or it didn't happen, period.
That'd be a good t-shirt or sticker design, actually.
Web link didn't happen.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's it. Give me the web link or it didn't happen. Okay? And this is what we have to get into the mindset of all the people out there. They think they're helping by saying something and then it's gone. You're not helping you will help infinitely more people. If you don't bother saying it to the asleep neighbor, get in front of your computer and record yourself saying it and upload it to the internet and 1 million people can learn it. Why bother to say it to a hard
Well, we still can.
that may or may not get it? I'm not saying don't say it to them. I'm just saying that energy that you spent doing that, you could have recorded it and put it online. That's the real publishing work. It isn't to just say something that you know to somebody you think might get it. I'm not saying not to do that too. But formalize your understanding. Put it online. Then hundreds of thousands of people might learn it. So web link or it didn't happen. That's the takeaway.
Like it a lot.
Yeah, it always mind boggles me when I run into people who don't really understand how much work and due diligence goes into even setting up a podcast or setting up a website or understanding the publishing programs and things like that.
Right.
And then I try to educate them to that, because I learned everything on my own when I started to do this,
Right.
I went at the initiative learn how to do these things because I know it was important. I knew that, hey, I'm going to need to learn this to live in this world. If I want to do anything with what's going on, I need to know this technology. And it seems that people just do not want to learn, especially the more elder generations, or even just like the parents of like people like me or Nate. They have no idea how to use any of this. And even when it comes to the younger kids, they do not want to learn how to do. They want it all to be easy, right?
They've been indoctrinated into this thing, the slab,
right.
fondle slab. Now,
right.
They all have the fondle slab, which will let you consume media, but creating it, it's a different story. You're not going to create much media on the fondle slab.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to have a desktop at least to really have some power, when you're trying to do any of this stuff.
I was showing people what it is to just even other people interviewing me, like what's happening right now. I was recently interviewed by two other individuals. Patrick Smith interviewed me for Anarchapulco 2021, and Jay Parker interviewed me on his show, The Center Path, recently. And just the tasks of taking that interview, cropping it, posting it to library. Then you have to make an article on your own website and embed it from there and get the embed codes. It's like an hour process, for each one. It's like you don't just hit a button. You don't hit the Siri button and go, Siri, do me a favor, put my two most recent interviews on my website for me. It doesn't work that way. Right? It's a lengthy, laborious process of having to get the right text and links and put it in the HTML code the right way if you're on your own website. If it's part of a longer video, which my interview with Patrick was, you got to get a video editor out, then you got to crop the video to the right place. It involves considerable amount of skill sets that you have to learn and then execute. I was just, looking at how much is involved just in doing something simple like that. And that's not even you doing the media. That's somebody else doing it and just giving you the link for it, right? They already did the bulk of the work with the editing and then, gave you the link, Just getting it onto your own site is a whole challenge and process in and of itself. But people don't see that. And it's because people aren't showing them that. They're not showing them the task of doing that. So this is what I think more of which has to happen. The people who do understand basic publishing technologies in the modern world, namely internet publishing technologies, have to help people learn how to use that technology. And the software does have to become easier. A lot of people think the web should stay as mystified as it is. All the different languages of the web, HTML5, JavaScript, PHP, SQL, on and on. The average person doesn't care about that. They don't want to know about that. The web should be as easy as publishing a document in Microsoft Word or making a PDF from a word processing tool. Okay? That's how easy the web should be, but we haven't made it that easy. Developers will not make it that easy because you know what the mindset they're in? I don't care about what that person has to say or publish. I know how to do this. Plenty of other people don't. That puts me in a position of power where I can make a lot of money because this is a super mystified thing and a lot of people don't know how to do it. Therefore, my paycheck goes up. Mm-hmm. You know what that's called? That's called Satanism. That's what Satanism is. Satanism is I don't care about what happens with other people as long as I'm doing okay. Satanism is, well, if a very enlightened individual who knows nothing about technology doesn't know how to publish this, oh well, I'm getting paid, right? They don't care about helping the world. They care about where the most money that can be made by them is at. That's what Satanism is. This is why I have to do the presentation, the satanic mindset of software development, of software developers, because they're all in that mindset, almost every one of them. Very few care about the human condition. Very few are trying to put easy-to-use tools in people's hands so that people can speak the truth out to a worldwide audience. Most people only care about their own situation, only care about their God, mammon, and how much money they make doing what they do that few other people understand today, unfortunately. The web needs to be demystified and needs to be taken into an area where it's easy to use as a word processing tool. That's it. And we're nowhere near that, unfortunately.
Well, we have definitely went over the 2-hour mark, and but if you guys want to continue on for a little longer, I'm cool with that. If you guys are.
I mean, I think putting the word out there, that publishing, learning how to be a publisher, learning how to be what I call the new media, is probably a nice place to leave it, because that places the responsibility firmly where it needs to be at. And where the responsibility should be at is the people within the sound of our voice who are listening to this and watching this. And if you say you understand, that's not the end. That's the beginning. The beginning is understanding this. The end is, I'm going to get involved and I'm going to try to influence other people's minds. That's the hardest thing that there is to do. The hardest thing that there is to do in the world is helping someone else change their perspective on something that they formerly thought they were correct about, but were not. That is the hardest thing that there is to do in the world. And I'll say that again. The hardest work in the world that there is to do is helping someone else to change their mindset and their perspective about something that they believe they already knew the truth about.
Sorry, Mark. We're going to see what's going on with the Black Devil. Very curious.
But were wrong about, because they have this ego invested that they already know and they don't know, they're incorrect, and they have to make the mental recognition when they get more information that, oh, I was wrong about this. Now I need to admit to myself and to others I was wrong about it, change my perspective, and then live in harmony with the truth, and then teach that truth to other people as well. Because everybody who's wrong isn't teaching the truth to other people. At the worst, they're teaching what's wrong to other people, right? All the people in the world who are wrong, all the people in the world who believe in government, not only are they not teaching the truth to people about the illegitimacy of authority and the human condition is slavery, they're not doing that. But in addition to not doing that, they're also teaching people, in many cases, if they're very vocal, all the wrong things to propagate it down to the next generation of people. So they're doing double harm. Not only are they not helping put the truth out there, they're spreading falsities and lies that are harmful, to other people's mindset and behavior. So we have to reach those people. We have to reach the people who think they're right but are wrong. And there is a truth about that, and it is able to be discovered. You use the trivia method to discover the truth, then you start attempting to influence other people. You put it out there, you teach, and you influence other people to change their minds. Folks, if I never did that and I just stayed saying, oh, well, I think I have the truth now, I admitted to myself that I was wrong in the past, and then I never did anything else with it, look at all the people that I have helped change their mindset and influence for the better in the world that would have never changed on their own, Maybe they would have if they come into contact with someone else that was putting out the same information, but many people may not have, So never underestimate your own power or capability. You have power within yourself to help influence change. The point is you have to be courageous and start doing it. So I think that's a good place to leave it. It's all about our own personal courage and willpower. Get active. Get out there. If you hear what we're saying is true, get out there and put it out there yourself. Learn the technology and put it out there for other people to hear.
So true. And
gentlemen, that's what you guys have done.
Sorry.
Absolutely. No, it's okay. That's what you guys have done. This is what you're doing, right? You got the information and you acted on it. Getting it was the first part. That's not the end. That was your beginning. Then you're acting on it. You're putting presentations out there. You're putting podcasts out there. You're putting videos out there. This is what the great work is to do. You guys are an example. You're an inspiration for others, And being on the One Great Network, we can amalgamate all these great teachers and purveyors of truth and help get it out there to people in one condensed area. That's what OneGreatWorkNetwork.com is all about. So check out my main website, What on Earth is Happening. Listen to the podcasts in order. Don't skip around. It's a stepwise progression. And then check out all the great content creators' work at onegreatworknetwork.com, the new network that we launched last month. So once again, Nate and Brandon, thank you so much for bringing me on to CubbyWhole podcast. I think you guys asked phenomenal questions, and I want to thank you for the work that you guys continue to do. It's what really a lot of other people should start doing, and you guys are an inspiration, so thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed, thank you very much, Mark.
It's been amazing, more than I expected on this show, and you're beyond an inspiration for me and Brandon and, Douglas for sure. And, many other people. And
I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
It's just what blows my mind is like how much work I've done. And then that there was a time in one of your episodes, maybe 10 or 15 episodes back, where you asked people to draw a Bruce Lee side-kicking a little baby in a high chair.
And to show the power differential through the knowledge differential. The dark occult are like a master martial artist fighting a child.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It's very unfortunate, but that is the power differential that exists. We have a master tactician, and he's fighting someone who's drooling at a high chair. And it's sad, but that's the kind of gap we have to make up. We have to make that gap up, and there's a chasm there in knowledge. That if the people who know what's going on get over this fear of speaking out, maybe we'll that chasm can be not so wide. Maybe we can make it narrower. Maybe we could make it not so deep. But right now, that's the power divide. The power differential is that wide. Yeah, it's like a sumo wrestler. A huge 600-pound sumo wrestler pushing around, somebody who's, in a wheelchair and it weighs 75 pounds. That's the kind of ease with which these occultists are manipulating people right now because of their level of knowledge and how ignorant the public is. But with the public's help, if people awaken and then activate, see, awakening is just, we spend too much time on, is he awake? Am I awake enough? Like, once you get the basic understanding of freedom and that government is slavery and that authority is an illusion, start putting it out there formally. Start making presentations, making podcasts, putting it out there, explaining why it's morally wrong and inconsistent with people's belief that they're a moral human being. Show them their, cognitive dissonance. Show them where they're saying one thing, but really their thoughts betray that. They betray what they say that they are. Nobody who's truly a good person down deep inside in their mind and heart can truly believe that the coercion, enslavement, and violence of government is morally right. It's a contradiction in terms. We have to, in simple terms, make people understand that. But that they're not going to understand that unless people put the work out there for them to consider. More media needs to be created, and it needs to be everywhere. What's more omnipresent in society? The lies of the mainstream media or the few truths that are spoken in the alternative media? Once again, I think it's very easy to see and gauge. So we need a lot more media created. We need more content creators. We need more teachers.
Agreed. I just wanted to say that I took you up on that idea that you had of Bruce Lee, and then I drew it. And it's funny because the way that I look at you and your work, sometimes I feel like that little baby in the high chair, even with all that I know. So sometimes I feel like, and I need that. I'm saying this in a very healthy way. I look at, people who I admire and are inspiring as giants, that I'm sitting on their shoulder, and I really appreciate knowing that where the work is that I need to do. And sometimes I speak on things, and then, not that I am ever at a place where I don't really know what I'm talking about, but maybe I don't have all the details of it. And then I run into someone who's very detailed in their research, and that's why I feel that way sometimes, where I am the little baby getting sidekicked by Bruce Lee, So.
Well, the comparison, I can make the same comparison to people that I learned from. Looking into the work of David Icke, look at how prolific he is. Look at the work of Jordan Maxwell and how much he has put out over the years, Michael Tessarion, etc. I mean, there are so many great teachers out there. Manly P. Hall. I mean, look at his proliferous works, So we all tend to do that as the generations continue, and that's how we proliferate and preserve human knowledge, and that's how we really preserve knowledge about morality and natural law. I mean, that's what has to be done, is look at other people's work and then build upon it, help to spread that work as well, but then build upon it ourselves. And I love to see that that's what you guys are doing, and I hope that you guys will keep it up, and I hope that other people will take that example and take that ball and run with it. So once again, thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for highlighting mine here today on CubbyWhole.
I appreciate that, Mark. Brandon, I think he had something he wanted to say before we get off here.
Sure.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I want to ask if you would mind putting a plug in for your upcoming presentation at the SEED conference.
Sure. SEED is coming up. The dates are May, 14th through 16th?
Yes.
14th through 16th, 2021. It's going to be a virtual conference. I believe it's going to be hosted on the Zoom collaboration, software. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're offering this as a free, open meeting for people?
Yes, completely free for people.
Okay, so May 14th through 16th, it's called SEED 4, okay? And Brandon is the host of the event, and I'm going to be speaking at it at this virtual conference. My presentation that's coming up as part of SEED 4 is called Fake Ass Anarchists. And what I'm going to be doing is breaking down the people who say that they are anarchists, but really their behaviors, their mindset and their behaviors don't truly align with what I consider to be real anarchy. It's anarchy in name only. Because when you really look at what underlies some of their belief systems and behaviors that they enact and condone, it isn't really true freedom. It's still you could call it a cul-de-sac. It's still something that is going to hold people back from a true state of freedom by creating some form of a control system. So, Fake Ass Anarchists coming up as part of SEED 4, May 14th through 16th. That is the presentation I will be delivering. There'll be a ton of other great speakers that have been invited to participate in the event, so check it all out. Brandon, you can give them the website.
Yeah, the website, it will be CubbyWhole.com. So that's CubbyWhole.com. You can find all the information there. And we're really looking forward to having you on there, Mark.
I'm looking forward to presenting it. I think it's going to be great. I'm really glad that you're giving the virtual event for free. I think that's very generous of you with all the work, even just to coordinate something like that. And I think people will get a lot out of it.
Yeah,
so
I really
thank you.
appreciate it too, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Brandon, before we go?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, Passio, I hope that one day we will, maybe in another lifetime, we'll be playing we'll go bowling and having a beer together.
Anytime. Forget another lifetime. We need to do that soon in this one.
I hear you, man. I would love that. But much agape to you, man. It's a true pleasure. Well, guys, this episode is at its end. And we hope you found clarity and value in this show today. And you can find more shows, presentations, and news at CubbyWhole.com. That's CubbyWhole.com. And plus, you can find more of our work, Douglas Martin's, Brandon's, and my work with other fellow light builders, such as Mark, who actually built the website with Leah and a few others, onegreatworknetwork.com. And that place is just filled with amazing information regarding natural law and freedom. Also, please make sure to keep your eyes out for the next show, as I will be going further into the methods of manipulation, especially elaborating on chaos sorcery, which Mark has really raised the bar here. So, and he already has in his other presentations and podcasts. So I'm just going to give what I see that hasn't really been said yet, and it should be really great content. So definitely tune into that. And as for now, a new show comes out every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So stay tuned for more. And if you have any questions regarding the topics for these shows or the Seed for Growth event, please email us at cubbyhole@mail.com. That's cubbyhole@mail.com. Also, any donations are appreciated, as anything that's given will go directly to the CubbyWhole website. Just hit the donation button on the website, and it's set up pretty easy to operate from there. So we really appreciate anything, and thanks to those who already have donated. So, okay, guys, I'm your host, Nate Cap. Thank you for listening, and remember, do no harm, defend truth, and keep transcending dogma.
All right, another amazing, awesome episode. If you order anything off the What on Earth is Happening, be sure don't put it in the cart until you are absolutely ready to order it. Don't put it in the cart, because it even says it on the instructions on the website. But I will say, I have ordered a few things. I believe I got a couple stickers, couple of natural law documentaries. I got the Founders album. The quality of items, of anything that you get on that website, is amazing. The shirts are very high quality. The stickers are very high quality. Some of the stickers were even made at Skatopia, and I lived at Skatopia at the same time when I cut up some stickers. So the print shop they have at Skatopia is top notch. Everything that comes off that website is just amazing, and all the way down to the USB jump drives. I love them. I think they're really cool. They're easy to carry around. Although I had to have my friend Brandon Martin, when I lived at Skatopia, I had to have him reformat the jump drives in order, because I tried to use them on my PS4. I didn't use them on my PC. If I used them on my PC, I probably wouldn't have had to go through and reformat the USB jump drives. Yeah, but amazing quality. And it's very punctual. When you order, it gives you the shipping date, and the shipping, when I ordered, it was never late. I would really love to get one of them CubbyWhole sweatshirts, one of them CubbyWhole hoodies, sweatshirts with the hoodies in the pockets. Man, they look awesome. I don't own a CubbyWhole sweatshirt, but they are very soft. Again, very high quality. It's amazing stuff. It's definitely worth every penny. I'm going to finish this mission, this quest, on the next episode. Find out about the Black Devil who kills communists. I'm very excited to finish this quest. As far as new generation, this looks beautiful. This is outstanding. As I said on this channel all the time, I don't have much money, so I can't afford a PS5 through payments. I have a decent credit score, luckily. So I can afford a PS5. This is nice. I can't wait to see what the quality looks like after I upload it and rewatch it. Because this is an amazing episode. I'm glad it's over. And I'm very excited to move on to episode number 44. It only gets better from here, y'all. It only gets better from here. So, the Silver Shroud is tuning out. Thank you for choosing Beagle Eye Visions for your entertainment.